In the heart of Lagos, amidst the bustling streets and the constant hub of life, lived a young woman named Amaka. She was born into a humble family in Ajegule, where dreams often got buried beneath the weight of daily survival. Amaka's father, Mr. Chukuma, was a taxi driver, and her mother, Mama Nkechi, sold vegetables in the local market. Despite their struggles, they instilled in Amaka a deep sense of integrity, hard work, and the belief that her circumstances did not define her destiny. From a young age, Amaka exhibited an uncommon determination. Unlike other children who found solace in playing in the dusty streets, Amaka was often found with her nose buried in books. She excelled in school, her sharp mind soaking up knowledge like a sponge. Her teachers often marveled at her brilliance, but also knew the odds were against her. In her final year of secondary school, Amaka faced a challenge that would set the tone for her life's journey. Had dreamed of studying law at the University of Lagos, a dream that seemed impossible for someone from her background, but Amaka was not one to back down from a challenge. As Amaka prepared for her WAEC exams, her family financial struggles worsened. Her father fell ill, and the cost of his treatment drained the little savings they had. The family could barely afford to eat, let alone pay for Amaka's examination fee. It was a dark time, but Amaka refused to give up. Determined to sit for her exams, Amaka took up odd jobs after school. She helped her mother in the market, cleaned houses, and even worked as a tutor for younger students. She worked late into the night and studied by candlelight, never letting her exhaustion show. Her friends Olamide and Chika admire her determination but worried for her health. "Amaka, you need to rest," Olamide often told her, but Amaka would only smile and say, "I can't stop now. I'm too close to my dream." The exams came, and Amaka sat in the crowded hall, her heart pounding with a mixture of fear and hope. She wrote with strength she could muster, pouring her heart into every answer. When the results were released, Amaka's name was at the top of the list. She had not only passed, but had done so with distinctions in all subjects. But even with these stellar results, the road ahead was not smooth. The University of Lagos was a prestigious institution, and the competition for a spot in the law program was fierce. Amaka knew she needed more than good grades. She needed a stroke of luck. Just as Amaka was beginning to lose hope, a scholarship opportunity came her way. The prestigious George Olaniyi Scholarship was awarded to one student every year, covering tuition and living expenses for the duration of their studies. However, the competition was intense, and Amaka would be up against students from all over the country. With encouragement from her family and friends, Amaka applied. She was shortlisted for the interview, and on the day of the interview, she dressed in her best clothes, a simple but well-ironed dress her mother had saved for special occasions. The interview panel consists of 3 distinguished individuals: George Olaniyi himself, a stellar man known for his integrity; Professor Adeola, a no-nonsense academic with a sharp eye for talent; and Mrs. Odunroye, a successful businesswoman and philanthropist. Amaka walked into the room with her heart in her throat, but her head held high. The questions were tough, but Amaka's knowledge and passion for justice shone through. She spoke eloquently about her desire to fight for the rights of the underprivileged and how she believed the law could be a tool for positive change in society. Her sincerity struck a chord with the panel. After what felt like an eternity, the interview ended. Amaka walked out, unsure of what the outcome would be. Days turned into weeks, and just as Amaka was beginning to accept that she might not have made it, she received a letter in the mail. With the trembling hands, she tore it open. Dear Miss Amaka Chukwuma, we are pleased to inform you that you have been awarded the George Olaniyi's scholarship. The words blurred as tears filled Amaka's eye. She has done it. She has defied the odds. University life was everything Amaka had dreamed of and more. She thrived in her studies, earning the respect of her lecturers and peers. Her background became a source of inspiration rather than a hindrance. She was determined to use her education to make a difference. But life at university wasn't without its challenges. Amaka found herself up against students from privileged backgrounds who had attended the best schools and had access to resources she could only dream of. There were times she felt out of place, but she reminded herself of how far she had come. Her resolve was further tested when she decided to run for the position of president of the Law Students Association. It was an ambitious move, and many doubted her chance. The favorite to win was Aki, the son of a prominent lawyer who had the support of most of the faculty and students. But Amaka was not deterred. She campaigned tirelessly, reaching out to students from all walks of life. She spoke about her vision for a more inclusive and supportive student body and her plans to improve access to resources for all students, not just the privileged few. The election day came, and the tension was palpable. When the results were announced, Amaka's heart skipped a beat. By a narrow margin, she had won. She had become the first student from a less privileged background to hold the position of president of the Law Student Association. Her victory was a turning point. It was more than just a personal achievement. It was a statement that where you come from does not determine where you can go. Amaka's tenure as president was marked by significant changes. She introduced programs to support underprivileged students, created platforms for students to engage with legal professionals, and ensured that every student had access to the resources they needed to succeed. Her leadership caught the attention of many, including George Olaniyi, who had become her mentor. He was impressed by how she has transformed her struggles into strength and used her position to uplift others. Upon graduating, Amaka was offered a position at one of the top law firms in Lagos. She continued to excel, quickly rising through the ranks, but her ultimate dream was to become a judge, just like her mentor. Years later, after proving herself in the courtroom and earning the respect of her peers, Amaka was appointed as a judge. It was a historic moment, not just for her, but for all those who had doubted their abilities to rise above their circumstances. Judge Amaka Chukwuma, as she was now known, never forgot her roots. She used her position to fight for justice, particularly for the underprivileged and marginalized. She established a foundation to provide scholarships to students from disadvantaged backgrounds, just as she had once received. Her story became a beacon of hope for many, a testament to the power of perseverance, determination, and faith. Amaka had shown that with grit and grace, one could rise from most challenging circumstances and reach the highest heights. Judge Amaka's legacy was not just in the case she presided over or the laws she helped change, but in the lives she touched along the way. She had become a symbol of hope, a living example that it is not where you start, but where you finish that matters. Her story was told in schools, inspiring young girls and boys from every corner of Nigeria. It was a reminder that even in the face of adversity, one must never give up on their dreams.